I get a lot of letters from people asking me, well, I'm facing a similar situation. What should I do, Professor Saad? And my answer is fight back hard. So I've had a couple of these situations. I had a guy on Twitter, the guy whom I referred to as a retard, started contacting my university, trying to get me fired. When it wasn't working with his tagging my university on Twitter, he actually contacted the HR department, the human resources department at my university. This is a random person.
It's a troll. You got in touch with a troll, and you gave him what he wanted, attention, and then he just started to run with it. You basically gave him an opportunity to score. He's playing a video game.
Exactly. But now here's what happened. The university's HR person contacts me after hours. I mentioned this actually recently on the Rogan report. The lady in question contacts me to say, look, here's a complaint that's been filed against you. Now, my first instinct was, oh, someone in my job as a professor at the university has complained about me, which I couldn't think who that would be. But I would think that that's where the template of their influence over me would reside. No. They had actually taken seriously a random person on Twitter contacting them and filing a complaint under the guise of he's a student. Well, he's not my student, right? I mean, if a student accosts me in an alley to mug me, I can't fight back because, bruh, he's a student, or I'm allowed to deck him, right? So this is a guy that I'm just having fun with. I mean, I'm doing it with a smile. We're going back and forth. Decides that he's willing to go as far as try to get me fired. Now, let's suppose that he had succeeded. Let's suppose that I hadn't fought back, because basically what I did with the university, I said, are you literally thinking that it is reasonable for you to be monitoring what I do on my Twitter account? And the example I gave her as an analogy, I said, if I see you coming out of a pharmacy with your daughter and I feel that you're speaking to her in a curt manner that I don't agree with as a parent, can I report you to the university? And that pretty much ended the conversation very quickly. But the fact that they felt sufficiently emboldened to actually reach out to me to address this complaint shows you how chilling the environment is.
It is, right? But let's play devil's advocate.
Sure.
If I was someone who was taking your class, or if I was someone who is very sensitive, or someone who has certain ideals or morals, and the professor who's teaching the class that I take called somebody a retard, I mean, just being honest, and I love you, I would say, why is this guy doing that? Like, that's a stupid thing to do. Like, why are you engaging with these people online and these base insults like that, distasteful insults?
Fair enough. And
why engage with people like that?
I mean, literally, the reason I do it is once in a while my wife falls asleep. I don't feel like working on my scientific papers or my book.
Procrastinating.
Or whatever. I'm tired and I'm on Twitter, and I've heeded your advice to try to not engage with people. Some idiot catches my I used the word idiot.
You're allowed to say idiot for some strange reason.
Oh, okay.
You can call
moron is
moron.
okay? Okay.
Yeah, you just can't call them.
So someone
the R word
catches my attention, and I decide to spar with them. You like to get into the octagon and do MMA sparring? I go on Twitter and I have fun with some idiot.
Right, but
and I just enjoy it, and usually we both laugh it off and we move on. It's just part of my personality, right? I'm a fun guy. I could be deadly serious and very academic and scientific. And as you've correctly pointed in the past, I could not take myself seriously and be just one of the guys. Mm-hmm. So this is a manifestation of that. Now, that this person felt sufficiently emboldened in his indignation that he would try to fire me, that's where you should be focusing on.
Sort of. I don't think that's real. I don't think he really felt so emboldened. I think what it was is he recognized that there's a climate today where a person like yourself, who's a professor, who uses a certain word that is deemed to be offensive by society, that he can call you on that word and get you caught.
Right.
You got caught up in a net of your own doing, sir.
Well, I'm still here smiling and looking tan, so that's okay.
You do look tan. Do you regret using that word?
More than anything, I regret that I ever get sucked into these battles.
Yeah.
It's much, because again, it's a slippery slope. Today it's retard, tomorrow it's moron, the next day it's schmuck.
Yeah, well, that is true in terms of people don't understand. Calling someone a retard, like say if you're a 30-year-old person today or a 25-year-old person, let's try 25. You realize that is a forbidden taboo word. Right. When you and I were 25, that word was nothing.
Right.
That word you'd get called it by your teacher.
Right.
I mean, it's true.
Right.
That was and it was known to be someone who was retarding your growth or retarding the class or saying things that were retarding development of ideas and logic moving forward. You're a roadblock. You're a pile of rocks in the road.
Right.
You fucking retard. Like, that's how people talked about it. Like, that's how they said it. But then it's become a new word that's victim to this war on words. Because you're not saying you have Down syndrome.
Right.
What you're saying is you're a dumb person, and that terminology, like especially the word retarded, it is not even used medically.
Right.
So it's not a word, and to say that there's no nuance and this word cannot be used again about a really stupid fucking person.
Right.